The deal governing data between the European Union and the United States is collapsing with the purges of government workers and the politicalization of independent oversight organizations in the United States. This is incredibly dangerous, and so far the European Commission has been silent on the reality that the rules governing this agreement and the protection of European data, the individual personal data of everyone in the European Union, is currently non-existent, allowing for companies in the United States and, more dangerously, US intelligence agencies to operate with effectively no oversight when it comes to snooping and stealing of European data. The mechanism that governs this relationship is called the EU Data Protection Framework, or the DPF. It is also known as the TDPF, the Transatlantic Data Privacy Framework. The United States has no federal privacy laws, and thus its intelligence agencies have few legal barriers to accessing the personal data of foreigners. It's estimated that over 90% of EU companies transfer data to and back from the United States, and this means trillions of dollars of bilateral trade are at stake. And this is a big problem because for years now, there have been problems with the US side of this agreement because of their lack of any sort of data protection. It means that repeated agreements have been struck down by the Court of Justice of the European Union, which has already killed two prior EU-US data deals. This is truly emphasized in the reality that the Civil Liberties Oversight Board, or the PCLOB, was literally created to act as the mechanism to allow for there to be a legal US-EU data deal on the books. And now that organization has been completely slashed to the bones. And even though the PCLOB was set up by Congress, which means it should be constitutionally protected from the president doing such actions, he has immediately politicized the board, firing the non-Republican members of that board, which has led to lawsuits from members of that board trying to retain their seats after they were illegally fired. This also comes off the back of President Trump suspending all regulatory agencies to make such rulings and have this independence, effectively removing all decision-making power into his office. And I must emphasize that Trump, in his executive branch authority, does not have the power to overrule other branches of government. What he is doing right now is authoritarian creep to centralize power in the office of the presidency. And JD Vance specifically targeted the EU, saying that it should not enforce GDPR rules against US companies and would threaten retaliatory tariffs on such actions. Collapse of the data protection framework means that there is effectively no regulatory oversight of European data going into the US or US spying on Europeans. This is not good. This is infringement upon so many civil liberties, and it is something that is being allowed to happen by the silence of the Commission not immediately acting upon these dangers. This is the problem with thinking that the US will come and snap back into normality soon. It means things are allowed to get way more out of hand as silence continues to thrive. Thankfully, some MEPs are pressuring the Commission to do this, but it is too little, and we need much more pressure put on the Commission to act to protect European data from American companies and intelligence services. Tech oligarchs might own the United States, but they should not own the European Union, and we need to stand up and pressure our politicians to make sure that never ever happens, and to push back on those who are already here. Thank you. Please do some engagement, or else nobody's going to see the video and I won't get paid. Have a great day.